I'm John Ellison, bringing video update 1 for Group A in ECE 493, and I'm just here to give the overview of what we've done from the start of the semester up until present. In the lab so far, we've done 2 initial experiments which have been quite useful in getting to know the lab equipment and how to use XPC. And even though we don't actually have to build the robot, it's still good for us to know what equipment's available for us in order to develop the plan and the system for the robot. So talking about what we're going to be doing in the coming week, we can actually move forward in some research areas now. And the first one that we need to look at is video. The constraints have been lifted on what type of webcam we have to use. So we can go with a cheaper webcams with less frame rate so that we can keep the cost down on the project. So if we actually had to build the robot, we could actually get away with a cheaper webcam rather than one that would function at 120 frames per second. In this, we can get away with a fairly slow frame rate. The next area of research will be taking a look at the model robot that was sent in from last semester's group, I believe group 14. We just want to look over some design areas on there and see if there's anything that we could change or take away from it that we could learn when we're coming up with our plan. Whether we want to go with the dual motors, how they guided their ball last time, or whether we want to go with an idea of a pivoting robot in our design. We just need to come up with some ideas for that. The next area of research, and the last one over the coming week, would be just the strategy behind ping-tac-toe. With the software behind the system, we would have to tell it which cup it would need to aim for based on what another robot had done already in the previous turn. And based on the balls that are already in the cups, you would have to tell it whether to go for a block or whether to go for the win, whether it couldn't do anything but tie. All of that needs to be taken into account with the software of the system. So we'll have to do some research in how the game needs to be played, and that'll go in this week. So this promises to be a very busy week in terms of research with this. Just getting really down into the core of the project now, but it should be all in progress very well by the end of this week. The next video update is due a week from Friday on the 25th, so we'll have more about the research that we've done and have a plan for the next week.